Hey everybody, this is Julie Quinn. Now, I have recreated the schedule in your syllabus just to make it so much more straightforward and to give you some flexibility as well. So if you scroll down, starting the day before class, you will see that I have updated the schedule and dates for English 236's 8-week session. You'll notice there's a pattern. There's 5 total modules. The first modules are 1 week apiece. Remember, this is a condensed 8-week class. So we've got to get the early work under our belts, get the concepts understood, and then we take more time in the main 3 modules. Each of those modules is 2 weeks in session, equals 8 weeks. So you'll notice for module 1, the module readings are May 16 through 22. You pace yourself, but note you've got to do some of that ahead of obviously the orientation and definitely the short story quiz, right? So you want to make sure those are due. Your major assignments are due on Sundays. Your discussions are due Thursdays and Sundays. Okay. So that's the pattern for the entire class. So for the weeks, like in modules or for modules 3, 4, and 5, where each module is 2 weeks in length, you've got a discussion that first week and then you got a discussion the second week to pace yourself, to spread the work out a little bit. And then at the end of each module, you've got the quiz and the project. Now, I recommend that you do the quiz much earlier than the last day of that module, but I'm building in some flexibility for you. It will help you to do it ahead of time. You'll note a little asterisk at the end of the modules for module 5. No late assignments will be accepted at the end of the term. This is not the same as if somebody has an accommodation or the late policy. Once the term is over and it's over July 10, it's overdone. So you cannot submit assignments beyond that date unless you have gotten an incomplete for an emergency situation that you've negotiated with me in advance. So this is the schedule, and I apologize if you printed out the one from the prior video. This one I think is just a lot easier. You can see the readings, the discussions, and the major assignments that are due. Now let's apply it to module 1. So if we go into student view and we take a look at the modules, you'll see module 1, and it's organized in a particular way that you cannot open module 2 without knocking out the orientation quiz and getting a 90. So and that doesn't actually apply to your grade, but it's a way for you to show that you understand how to move throughout the Canvas shell and how to process the course. Okay? So for this first week, you have a discussion introduction to yourself due May 19. You've got an orientation quiz due at the end of the week. You've got some readings to do. The short story and introduction, that's about 8 pages. Let me recommend that when you read this, for example, you actually can open up the document here in Canvas, but I strongly recommend that you print this out. I think printing it out and taking notes is important because it gives you that background understanding of the reading and allows you to understand certain terms and concepts that we're going to be using throughout the term. And it gives you a bit of a historical perspective on the evolution of the short story. So I always recommend that you print these out and you read them on hard copy. If you can't do that, let me beg you that you do not do these readings on your phone. Here's why. When students read the literature content, or when you read a lot on the web, you tend to do what's called skimming. But you won't be reading deeply or having a sort of a nuanced understanding. You may get that the text is about X, but you don't really understand the subtext. What is the author is the author talking about that situation, or are they implying something else is happening, right? So you want to be able to read more slowly and more deeply, and that's why you want to either read this on a desktop version more slowly, but again, everything you'll do so much better in this class if you print out your readings. I'm trying to save you money by not having a course official course book, so these readings are provided to you, but you've got to be really careful that you do a clear enough job of sort of understanding, and you take your time in the reading of these texts. You don't read them all in the 22nd. You try to like pace the class out just a little bit. So that's how module 2 is set up. Module 1, excuse me. Then once you've completed the orientation quiz and the short story reading quiz to 90% and 80% respectively. You get access to the short stories themselves that start in module 2. You'll know I'll have a recording at the beginning or at the end of this week that introduces you to the content in module 2, but let's just pace ourselves. So for now, I hope that modified schedule makes a lot more sense. Again, you can go into the syllabus and you can see it right here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this and put this in my video announcement, but you have access to this. This I would print out and keep it close by. And you can always email me, reach out if you have any questions. I look forward to working with you soon on 236, the short story.